Alright, gentlemen. Last time we took off, you guys had found some information in the town you're in, and we're trying to determine what option to go with next. Any of you want to fill in some of the other gaps of details?
You sent 3 different forms of information. What, Jonathan?
Not game.
I know what that was about.
Paintings for Dudley.
He's attempting a message to Mr. Dudley 3 times.
Different ways.
Indeed.
Okay.
No, I do not wish to add.
Well, we noticed that the Shields did not believe there was a Goblin King.
Correct.
We noticed that they seemed rather favorable of excessive methods, slicing hands off and such.
That's excessive? They thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the real world, America, it was pretty excessive.
Well, when the punishment exceeds the crime, there is a purpose in it.
The Law Code of Hammurabi.
There's lots of places that have used crime and punishment like that, like chopping off people's hands for stealing, even where they don't have judge and jury or anything like that, just on the spot where the guards are judge, jury, and executioner.
Yes, it dispenses with certain expenses and complications.
Yeah, dissuades others from not doing that.
Anyway,
I would assume this is not too unusual for our universe, at least from what some of our characters have lived with or heard about or read about.
It's a little bit foreign to some of the locations that I remember you guys were from. Cookie maybe a little less so, since he dealt with Zambia, probably. But
to be honest, I had no idea how to make Cleoc react to seeing that, so I think I would just had him be kind of silent in awe, like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, it works.
We did not cut off the wings of any thieves when back home.
True. Yonovan was quite allured by Rio, if I remember correctly, as well. By a certain aroma she came back with.
I wouldn't say allured, but intrigued.
And Cleoc
by her smell, not by her.
And Cleoc wanted to get something, anything out of what Rio did, and Rio refused to divulge any information, or even tell him, wait till later. And so, Cleoc needed some alone time.
And so, did any of the rest of you want to do anything else that evening that Cleoc has departed? Or do you just want to catch a night's sleep and wake up in the morning and go for the next round of investigation?
Well, we want to try and find the sage. And if we wait around long enough, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, after a few hours, he comes in, asks for supper. This is like 2 hours before everyone else usually seems to eat supper. And the innkeep there gets him some, and he starts eating at one of his tables.
Pumpkin, go away. Well,
who did
so
you
here's
name
where
Pumpkin?
My eye is twitching. but you can't see it. So, this would be the point where Dudley gets to talk with the sage, and we've already talked to the sage.
Yeah, Dudley's currently off investigating something. We'll see if he's able to return and talk to the sage.
Well, guys, I don't really know what to do
Out of
without.
character, you could ask the sage to help you decode the message so you could see it yourself.
Actually, I want to talk with the sage. We didn't get very far last time in understanding the situation.
He also fell asleep on you last time with how old he is.
Mm-hmm. I go over and sit with the sage.
Yes?
Oh, hey, so we went out in the city just looking around, and
Oh, yes. Good, good, good.
seems like you all make a lot of spices and perfumes around here.
They do. Yes, yes, yes.
So, where did you get that ledger?
From a used bookstore. Yes.
Used bookstore. Which one?
Oh, I don't remember. There's 3 of them in town that I can remember, though.
Why are you sure it's even from this city, then?
Because I bought it while I was here?
Is there no one who trades books between the cities?
Not used books and like that, no, no, no. It didn't look like it really was supposed to be there, so I was interested and I picked it up.
Oh, you picked it up and didn't pay for it?
He dozed off a bit, so you can talk with your compatriots on what you're planning to do.
Alright, I'll leave him. He's no help. Well, I suppose. I mean, we could explore and just sort of see what the city has. Cleoc isn't here. I wonder what they do for fun around here. What do you guys think? You want to go find a party? Buy some nice clothes? Wander around?
Out of character, are you implying that Cleoc doesn't know how to have fun?
Yes.
That's what I thought. I want to make sure.
Woo! Party! I want to party.
Yeah.
Why do we need nice clothes?
I would like to keep my hands attached. That's my one constraint.
Because we need to look like interesting people.
But we do look like interesting people.
What do we look like? Loaded with weapons and
I
quirky
don't.
things. What do you look like?
The description I gave plus some normal fancy traveling clothes that have been slightly tailored.
Oh, that's right. You do have fine clothes. And you went to the effort to get them. I shall go shopping. I go out to the marketplace and attempt to find a fine clothes store of some kind. Let's see.
I should have got clothes when we were at the dwarf place.
Yay. I'm no good at finding clothes stores. Well,
I should look instead. That
No, you shan't.
that looks like a bar.
A bar it is. I can drink to that. Just a
Ooh,
little.
another bar?
I can't
I
find
know, right?
clothes.
They're everywhere around here. It's great.
So would you guys roll for it?
3s on the die.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We're skilled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, my modifier is bigger than what I rolled.
I mean, that does that even equal a total of 5 for you? Because that would mean
It's
that
a
you weren't
5
able
for
to read
me.
the special book.
It'd be a 7 for me. My modifier is bigger than what I rolled. I rolled a 3, so it cannot be a 5.
Good. All right. Wow. So you guys are bumbling around trying to find a clothing store. What is Ryu doing? I know
I heard
Kleok's
someone
off.
mention a bar, and so I'm going to drink.
You're
I mean-
currently at the end, so you probably just haven't left the bar, is what you're saying?
Well, no, they said they were going to go look for something, so I followed them because I was bored. I mean, I was already drinking a lot, but
So the first building that looked like a store we went into, and it was another bar.
and so I sat down and I started drinking.
Ah, okay. Well, then Cookie and Yanaman can head off to try to find more. You want to try to find one a different means than your failure?
Sure.
Tell me how you want to find one.
Maybe ask a drunk local.
A drunk local's gonna know where to buy nice clothing.
They might know where the clothing store is.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look for the nicer part of town. You know, that's
Okay.
a really... Because this is definitely not it. Look at this place.
How are you looking for it? You gonna go over the whole city looking for which part's nice?
I thought it wasn't a city yet.
Yeah, almost.
How am I gonna look for it?
I'm saying it to indicate landmass, not so much as full size in this situation.
Yeah. I know.
You were saying.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna talk with one of the locals around at the... Is there anyone else around at the bar that Rio stopped at?
The innkeep and cook's getting ready for the evening, as it looks like it's getting close to evening. People are going to start coming in for their evening's meal and drink.
Yes. I'd like to talk to the innkeeper. Hello. I'm in the market for, is there any place that sells, really good horses?
Horses? No, we don't have many horses. And the shield tends to take them.
Who takes them?
The shield?
Oh, right. Yeah. How long has the shield been around here?
Longer than I can recall.
They seem a little, forceful. I wouldn't want to be on their bad side. I just saw them chop a guy's arm off. Hand off.
No, naughty individual. Shouldn't be doing that.
I say, I could use some better clothes, I think. Could you point me to some really nice shop around here?
There's the market, and then, I guess you could try to find a tailor.
Ooh. Are there any tailors around here?
I don't know, they're outside my budget. I don't know where they are, or who they are, because they're expensive. I've heard a few nobles talking about getting some now.
Nobles. Ah, what I wouldn't give to talk to. Where are the nobles around here? I don't see them.
Oh, you don't come over here. They don't think my bar is classy enough.
I know.
Rude.
You see there's a few cobwebs in a few of the corners. The counter's kind of grimy. It's kind of like, a cheap old
Dive bar.
Waffle House.
Hmm.
Has a bit of a stench to it. It's, almost feels like the whole floor has a little bit of a grime on it permanently. That sort of lovely place.
I mean, I keep a really nice place. I don't know why they don't come here, but they don't.
Do they have a
You
fancy?
see he sneezes and like a huge glob it just, lands on the bar.
Yeah.
And just keeps talking to you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out to the market, and I'm gonna look for the.
Have a nice day, sir. You come back and buy a
You
drink
too.
sometime.
Yeah.
I think I know why he sounds congested.
I'm gonna look for a. You had said that the weapon and armor shops were more expensive. I want to look for one of those.
Okay. You're able to eventually find a armor and weapons shop there in the market district.
Hello.
Called the Sword and Board.
Oh, that's a good name. Do you guys do special orders?
Are you with the Shield?
No.
No.
Wow. Exclusive customer, huh? There aren't any nobles apart from the shields who buy from you?
They have licenses, and you do not appear to be one of them.
Wow. Licenses for... I didn't think you need licenses for weapons. That's funny.
For weapons and equipment, you do.
Huh.
Weapons and armor are dangerous in the wrong hands, and so it requires registration.
Wow. That is interesting. Thank you.
Indeed.
I go back to my fellows. Hey guys. The shields keep the populace not armed.
I know, we saw that earlier.
Well, other than dishanded, they keep them not armed.
Oh,
Because I couldn't buy weapons and armor without a license.
even though we already have it?
Yeah.
Does that mean we're gonna run into problems walking around with weapons?
No.
Depends if a shield comes and engages with you.
But I would say that most people aren't authorized to have them, which is not a good sign. We could go, maybe these shield guys are over paranoid, or maybe they're the problem.
Yeah.
But I don't see, if they've been fighting the goblins for decades, I don't see why they would be in league with the goblins. And I don't know how to... I was hoping, to find out who does special orders so I could get this guy to tell me where the nobles are. Maybe Cleot could tell us where the noble part of the city is, if he were ever back.
So you fade over to Cleoc. Cleoc has found a lovely tree to perch in with a few friendly bird companions on another branch.
I'm waiting to get ambushed by a goblin at this point. I mean, I'm meditating in said tree.
I figured, given the type of individual you were, you'd prefer a nice tree to meditate in.
He's
Slightly
pickable.
higher spot. I like it.
It's a tree overlooking the town up on a hill.
I I reach into my bag for one of those tiny crystals.
Okay.
I flick one at Cleoc.
I'm not with
How
you.
do you flick one at Cleoc? He's not within view.
Did we not go back?
No,
Cleoc
I
is
said
not
we
with us.
faded over to his
Oh, okay.
his part of the story to quickly say what he was doing, and now we're back to you and Cookie walking down the street, and I'm not sure if Rio stayed in the bar or not, because she said she got a drink at the grimy bar, so last I knew she was drinking there.
If they didn't drag me away, I'm still drinking.
Let's
Drinking
go
at the
get
grimy
Rio.
bar, or did you go back to the other one?
Does the grimy bar have good booze?
Depends what you call good.
Exactly. So I'm still there.
It's cheap. And it's
Strong.
an alcohol-ish substance? I mean, it seems to have decent proof, but it tastes like it may have been ran through, grease or other unspeakable substances.
I should probably just roll to see if I actually notice that my party members have left.
Yeah, that works.
They were asking weird people questions about stuff, so I was drinking.
Well, the inn and tavern that you guys were in is called the Drunken Beggar, so, it's a good place.
I'm pretty sure I might notice after a while, but I only got a 9 plus 1, so a 10 on my
You
overall
start
perception.
eventually hearing people start coming in, and they seem to be, the people you don't usually like to associate with, people who usually beg, steal, or do, scoop out stables and other people's locations of private matters.
Where did they go? I guess I gotta find another tavern. I'm gonna go get up and look for another tavern.
Okay, with how much you've been drinking, you need to roll to see what you find. Are you trying to go back to the one you guys were in before, or just a random one?
A random one. So that's investigation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 16.
Alright, so a ways down the street you're able to find another one. It looks like it's a little bit more polished. It seems to be more of a middle class establishment.
I think I'll go in and start
you
drinking.
see people are eating, and there's a bit of music going on. A decent inn.
Decent party. Okay. I'll go in there and drink for a while. I'll listen to see if my party members find me or not.
Okay. Cookie?
On our way back, we'll we'll probably assume that Rio's where we left her.
Okay.
And duck in that bar if
So
we can.
you guys go to the Drunken Beggar, and you see there's a bit of a brawl that's taken up. People smashing things across each other's head. No sight of Rio in there at all.
Never mind. All right, we'll go back to.
I missed the
Yeah.
brawl. Oh.
Alright, so you guys head back to your place that you acquired some rooms for the evening, I believe.
So, Yonovan,
Yes.
what do you make of this puzzle? You can't buy weapons here unless you have the right. I mean, this place makes natural goods. Obviously, probably exports it. Other than that, this feels like a very Wild West town.
Wild
Except
West town?
lack of weapons.
What's this term, Wild West town?
Frontier town, if you will. There is no law but what they decide the law to be. Which usually means someone's running it, someone with enough money to fund it all.
Yeah.
We should find out who that is. Because obviously, I don't know anything that's going on here. And this is the wrong part of town to be in. Can't even find good clothes.
Well, not knowing where the clothes are is not the same as not existing.
Well, we can continue to wander and try to find a better part of town. The problem is you can't ask someone from a bad part of town where the good part of town is without seeming awfully pretentious.
Yeah.
You can always go to the shields and talk and make a fuss or something, but that doesn't.
That doesn't seem wise.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to like their authority being questioned, hence the lack of weapons.
And we could go in and be like, could we have, a license to buy weapons and armor? And they'll be like, why do you need that? And I'm like, the free market? I don't think that argument holds around here.
Yeah.
We could try to become merchants and just start buying large quantities of their goods and see if that could get us in touch with whoever's like behind the scenes supplying the goods. Maybe make us friends. What do you think?
I mean, I think we need to find out, as you said, who's in charge. Because it definitely has the feel that someone's running something from the back. Not many other scenarios make sense.
Well, we've got nothing but time. We might as well just
I just
pick
don't
a
see
street
why
and
they
walk
wouldn't
it.
have the locals armed if they have had goblin problems.
And they don't have a wall either. That's
You guys
So we should
back at the inn
find
talking
out.
about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Arpus walks up to
We
you.
went
He's
there
like,
to.
I'm headed to bed, Sonny. I just want to see, was there anything else you needed?
well, we were wondering why why do you have to have a license to buy armors and weapon around here?
The authorities in the Shield decided it was so.
Who's the authority? Who runs this place?
Well, there's a baron who's the local leader, and then he reports to the king who lives a few towns over.
Okay. Where does the baron live?
He lives outside of town, on the north of town.
Okay.
He has his own private estate there.
When's the last time there was a goblin attack, and how far away was it?
A decade? And it was... They had a warning from a merchant who saw the horde moving towards them. And it was 25 miles away, heading right for the town.
Okay.
And the shield just took care of them?
The king sent help in with his men and the shield from the town here. Yes. The shield report to the baron.
Right.
His personal
So that's why no
guards
wall.
under, what was his name? Ulthen.
Ulthen? Is the baron's name or the head of the shields?
Oh no, the Baron doesn't. Just goes by the Baron.
Okay.
He's Uthin is the head of the shields.
Huh. Okay. So who did you tell about the ledger you found?
Didn't, because I don't know who's involved, and
You don't go
I
to the
don't
shield,
trust
so
them. I'm kind of not from here originally, so they don't listen as well.
huh. Yeah, I get that. They don't like outsiders. Very proud bunch the shields are.
Yeah, they're a standard backwater bunch.
Is it hard to get to meet the Baron, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, do you think you can trust the Baron? Or do you think he could be in on it?
Depends if there's money in it for him.
Well, the Goblin King could probably give money.
Debatable.
Generally speaking, people, ally with the enemy when they're desperate. So we're looking for desperate people,
Or when
but
they feel they can be manipulated to get what they want.
I guess what the goblins want is to kill, pillage, and plunder. I mean, not generally good for most human society. I guess the Baron controls all the merchant trade too?
Indirectly.
Alright. What side of town are we on right now, roughly?
The eastern. Kind of the south a little bit, but mostly eastern.
I'll talk with Yonovan.
Night.
Night.
Heads off.
I think we ought to, while there's some daylight left, explore northward and see if we can find where this Baron lives. And of course, he's going to be hard to reach. What's easy around here?
Right.
Well, we could, like I said, we could try buying our way in, bribing people left and right for information. That generally works. Unless they're afraid that if they get discovered, they'll die. I would think someone like the Baron would listen to us saying, hey, there's a goblin threat.
You would think that, yes.
We could try to investigate a goblin threat, but knowing where it comes from is not especially easy. 25 miles is way too big.
Yeah.
The king is several towns over. That's no help. But we do know that a Baron is in charge of this place. And we also know the name of the head of the shields. I'm especially short in ideas. I want to wait till Cleot gets back. And Ryu's not stupid drunk. I guess she always is.
Talking of, Cleoc's meditation continues to go on. Ryo, do you continue drinking? at your current establishment?
Am I unable to drink anymore?
Roll a con check.
It almost landed in that 20.
Yeah, so
Instead, it is. So con save or con.
Check.
Okay. It's a 9.
Yeah, you're getting ready to return the gifts.
I look around and go, wait, this isn't my tavern, and I try to stumble back to the correct tavern.
Roll a navigation with disadvantage.
Okay. What would navigation be? Is that
Sorry,
survival?
Yeah, survival. Sorry.
Whew, +0. The lower of 2 is 7.
All right. Well, you guys are... We'll come back to you in a bit. Cookie, Yonovan, you guys are currently at your inn. Anything else you want to do? Or just wait
I
for
think
the
we
two,
need
check
to
into your rooms?
chill out, get some rest.
Okay.
Have dinner. Well,
You can have
I
dinner.
guess if
Doesn't hurt.
it's before dinner, but yeah.
Well, it's
have
currently dinner right now. People have been coming in and eating.
Yeah, we'll have dinner.
You have, it's starting to wrap up dinner right now. Okay, so you guys purchased dinner. You can mark off a little bit. And, then you guys head up to bed. Get a good night's sleep. Ryu, you
Yeah.
eventually make it back. It's about, somewhere between 12 and 2. You're not quite sure. You finally are able to find it. You also seem to have a slightly lighter purse.
Which is odd, being that I didn't carry, like, more than spending change with me.
How much did you bring with you?
Like, 20 gold? Or actually, probably half of it was gold, half of it was script, is my guess. So 10 and 10.
Okay. 13's missing, not including what you used for drinking. So you're probably down 15 for the evening.
Ah, at least I got enough to buy some more drinks.
Sorry, when you're drunk stumbling around, you're a little bit easy of a target, especially when you're wandering around at night for elongated period.
Yeah. Though I think I would have noticed if anyone bumped into me while I was stumbling drunk in the middle of the night.
Oh, you bumped into a lot of things. Carts, animals, and people.
Okay, fine. I
Another
probably
guy who
accused
basically
the.
nearly puked on your shoes.
I think I accused one of the animals of stealing from me before I realized it was a cow.
Probably. And that's probably when the person, nabbed it, is when you're distracted by yelling at the cow. Either that or you're chastising the guy for puking on your new shoes that are, kind of filthy right now. But hey, you make it back finally. You're going to have to sleep in to get a full night rest. The rest of you can get up at the crack of dawn if you guys want.
Well, up at the crack of dawn's probably what we are, but without Cleoc or Ryu ready, there's not a whole lot we can do.
I was meaning Cleoc as well. He can wake up whenever, that time as well if he wants. He can come back whenever he's ready.
Cleoc could return in the morning.
Wait for daylight or just right when sun starts peeking over? Kind of about what time would you?
Yeah, I guess a little bit just after dawn.
Okay. So Cookie and Yonovan, what time did you guys go down out of your rooms?
It was a pretty early bed,
It was.
but by dawn time we'd be up with the light, but
Okay.
still waiting for.
So you guys head down there. The innkeep gets you breakfast, and as your breakfast is getting brought out, you hear the door open and walks Cleoc, looking refreshed and chipper and well fed.
Oh, Clear.
I just give him a curt nod.
Do you
Oh.
join them at the table or head off?
I join him at the table.
So, I've learned a little bit, but not enough. This city's run by a baron who, kind of runs everything, even behind the scenes, like the mercantile. There's a king a few towns over, and the baron owns the shields as well. You can't buy weapons or armor in the market. It's not really a free market.
Interesting.
Apparently the king or the baron lives on the north side of town. Did you get a chance to look over that way?
To be honest, I can't say I was paying much attention to the various landmarks. Other than this town does look very. I don't know what the right word for it is.
You did-
Square?
You would remember seeing a nice sprawl of trees and flowers and a much more decorated manor to the north, just because it was kind of blatant since it was up on a hill.
But
and the
now
fact that, it was glowing pretty much all night long, that you could see it.
But now that you mention it, there definitely was one spot that was more upscale than the others. It looked like would definitely be the richest person in town.
Ah, well,
Up to the north.
that might be our baron. Mr. Sage here says that it would be difficult to get in to see him. Of course, you could always, fly over his wall and stuff. But that's probably not the best approach either.
Out of character, it depends on how many archers they have. In character, Cleoc would mention the odd shape of the town, or the very uniform shape of the town.
Okay. And knowing cities and stuff through your campaigns and stuff, Cookie, you would know that, yeah, that's odd. Most cities aren't built on a strict geometric shape, let alone
There's a few that are built for defense, but usually those would have walls, and I'm not seeing that here. Well, should we go fetch that lazy drunk? Maybe splash some water on her?
Did she ever tell you what she was doing?
Drinking. We left her drinking and she didn't come back.
You mean that the one thing that she decided to not tell me she was doing was drinking? I'm even more disgusted than I thought.
Just to clarify, I think you both are talking about two different things.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we know.
Cleoc, okay.
Very much.
Just making sure that you caught it. I knew,
Yeah.
I could tell that Cleoc did, but I didn't know if you were aware, Cookie.
Cookie has caught on by now. I was like, yeah, no, I mean, in the last, we went to explore the town and she found a bar and got lost. I checked and she's up there passed out, so she made it back, but obviously hungover. Hey, if you know, drunks just love being woken up when they've had too much.
Loudly.
Yes, loudly.
Do you happen to have anything loud?
I do.
I do, but I wouldn't recommend using it.
It depends if you notify people ahead of time or not.
Hey, barkeep.
Cleoc just takes a deep breath and says, "Let's just wait."
That could be fun.
Hey, barkeep, can we borrow a pot and a pan?
I guess we have these dirty ones here.
We want to go
What?
wake up our drunk roommate.
I don't know if I'd recommend that. My assistant told me that she looked pretty rough when she barely stumbled through the door last night.
Well, should we wake her up or let her sleep it off?
But if you want to, there's what you asked for right here.
I
hand
say
them
we
to
wake
Cleoc.
her up.
I hand the pot and pans to Cleoc.
I refuse them. I'm just going to sit down here.
Okay. Shall we, Cookie?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right.
After they go upstairs, I say to the barkeep, "This is the company I keep?"
He looks at you like, I don't know what to say, man. He's like, can I get you anything?
Yeah, what's for breakfast?
Name it. We got eggs, bacon, sausage. We got fruits. We got steaks. Heck, there's some leftovers from last night if you want. We got quite a wide selection.
I'll just get a standard breakfast.
All right. So he brings out a breakfast plate and sets it down. Ryu, I need you to do a perception check with advantage.
Miss Cleoc waits for the inevitable.
You know, I don't make the stuff up. I let you guys.
That was it.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
14.
Ryu, I now
Perception,
need
I get a 14.
I need you to roll a con save.
A con save? Okay.
Yes.
There's no paladins nearby, are there?
No.
Ha!
Nice.
18.
You are barely able to stave off the exhaustion as this ringing loud noise comes crashing in the room. You need rest ASAP, a full night's sleep. If you don't get a full night's sleep soon, you're going to have exhaustion. Actually, no. It was 2 levels of exhaustion you'd get from being drunk, so you have 1 level of exhaustion right now. You would have had 2 if you had failed.
So, what's the rules for Eldritch Blast against objects?
You have to roll to attack the object.
Oh, well, so what kind of damage would it do? Just punch a hole through it?
Potentially depends on if you hit it or not, and how much damage you
Well,
do.
like if it was a wall.
Depending on how much damage you do, yeah, there's actually AC and hit points for items based on their material.
I'm going to instinctively fire an Eldritch Blast at the noise.
Okay. Roll
Are you blindly doing this?
Yep.
I just got woke up by something cacophonous, so I must assume that I'm being attacked.
Well, normally speaking, that means you shot an Eldritch Blast at Cookie.
Well, it was a 19 to hit in your general direction. I'm not sure For me being half asleep, that probably gives partial cover.
Or disadvantage. That's why I asked if you did this with your eyes
Or-
open.
I mean, I guess my eyes are kind of open. They're a little bit blurry. So, DM, do I need to roll it with disadvantage?
Cookie, you got hit. It was a D5 to see what thing you hit.
Yep.
So roll damage against Cookie.
Okay. Is there a D10 out here?
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Oh, there it is. 6.
Cookie takes 6 points of damage.
Oh, it's you.
By the way,
I'm
you have
sorry.
a splitting headache and feel nauseous for the rest of today.
Oh, man. What was that for?
Huh. Well, what are you doing getting drunk on the job?
There was
Seriously,
nothing saying I couldn't get drunk.
we're working to earn our keep, to earn money for this job. We don't go get wasted just because you're bored.
Ow, can you keep it down a little bit?
By the way,
Oh,
Rio,
we could
when
put
you
her
go
back
down-
to sleep.
when you go down to eat, you do find out that you're missing that gold.
That figures. I got robbed too. I just hope they didn't recognize me.
Huh. I can't fix drunkism.
Nope.
Can you heal levels of exhaustion?
Nope.
Nope.
Yep, then you can't fix it.
That is much beyond me.
That'd be a greater
I
restoration.
can put you back to sleep, though.
You should do that.
You woke me up and now you want to put me back to sleep.
It wouldn't work that way. We have a 24-hour mechanic system. So even though in game it might work, by game mechanics it won't. That's cool. I paid for it. I made that choice. But it was fun anyway.
Out of character, that is not how I expected Cookie to respond to being hit by an Eldritch Blast.
I was a little confused by that too.
That don't care that I got hit by a drunk who woke up. Not the first time I've been hit by a drunk who woke up.
Yeah, but that's significant damage.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Anyway, I kind of derailed things.
Breath.
It's probably like getting shot in the leg where it's, clean through flesh wound, but you just got shot in the leg.
Oh, yeah. So.
So, back in character. I hope the guy that nicked those coins wasn't that kid from earlier. He might have recognized me.
What
How
did
much
you
damage?
do?
How much damage did you take, Cookie?
6.
I healed you for 5.
Why would you do that?
Because
You're bleeding on the chair?
Cookie's gonna do that.
Too late.
Bleed
But
on
you
the
can
chair.
do it first. That's fine. He
You may
doesn't
have
want to
foreseen-
see.
You may
Does
have
he
foreseen this happening, but I didn't. So I feel bad that you're the one that got hit, since it was my idea.
Okay.
Alright, so what's the plan, gentlemen? Time's ticking.
Let's head north and go find the nicer part of town. try to go meet this Baron.
You can't bleed on your new clothes that we don't have yet.
Alright, so you guys head north in the town. You see people rousing across the
Yeah.
town, heading to get their breakfasts. Cleok?
Since I look super refreshed, I tell Rio morning sunshine.
Ryu, Cleok looks like he had an amazing rest and has just had a wonderful meal. And like the world is great, and you feel like quite the opposite.
All right, princess. Whatever you want.
I cock my head at that statement, but I'm just assuming that that's just kind of a drunken stupor hangover insult. But not gonna make anything of it.
Okay.
I point at Cookie.
You point at Cookie. Okay.
Where he got hit by the Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
I like to think that Cleok was told that you got hit by Eldritch.
You probably heard it.
Yeah.
Ow!
And I like to think I would have shaken my head. It's like, yeah, that's about how I expected it to go.
The innkeep probably joined you in the shaking of the heads.
Anyway, off to the Baron.
Okay.
Or getting told that we can't see the Baron.
So you guys head north. What do you do as you head north?
Well, we look around and hope that we're coming towards a nicer part of town.
Okay. You see that as you do head north, things do seem to get a little bit nicer. You seem to get the upper middle class is kind of the area that you've gone into now.
Okay, I now look for a clothing store of this area.
And you roll a 3. But not quite.
14.
Okay. After a while, you're able to find a hat shop.
Not what I'm looking for. But they might know. Duck in. Actually, a hat does define a man. Look around for a hat that I like.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a really nice hat with them.
You're searching through. And then describe the sort of hat you're looking for.
I am looking for a hat that says, I'm up and coming. I show potential. I want more. I'm not like super refined, but not casual.
So you find a white hat that says, I want more. And you find a hat that says, I'm up and coming. And there's a sweater that has the whole statement you said on it.
Are you kidding? Does it literally have words on it?
Yeah, the sweater has words on it.
Guys, we are not in the right place.
Yanovan, roll your check and see what sort of hat you want to find.
Yanovan, if we find any store that sells this, it's not going to sell what I need.
Ooh, interesting hat, Yanovan. Let's roll, see what you get.
Oh, come on now.
So you see the one in the lower left-hand corner that you sent, right? It looks kind of like it's almost like a branch. It's really scraggly feather. Well, you find one like that, and like the colors are really old and faded. It's what you want. It's just not the right condition that you'd like.
Moving on.
Cleok's just rolling his eyes at this. He knows He knows that he's not going to convince his companions otherwise, but his hats are just dumb and useless.
Can hide daggers. I mean,
Is there a hat that says "Make Arendelle Great Again"? Like perhaps the magical clothing that shows exactly what you want it to show on it?
You'd have to search to see if you can find it.
Is it
Ultim
I'm too
for
drunk to
sheriff.
search.
a rose-end color?
Cookie, is there
Anyways,
a
I don't need
specific
those.
hat that you would think of that states such a thing?
Yes, a
'Cause
derby
it's-
hat.
A derby, okay. You're able to get something that's roughly like that.
Okay. I go over to the shop owner and it's like, I'd like to buy this hat, and I'd also like to find some nicer clothes to go with it. Could you point me in a good direction, sir?
The derby you find is a brownish color, and it's slightly flattened and doesn't have the usual trim around the base.
Okay.
Yeah, if you would like to get clothing, you probably need to talk to the tailor. Or you
Yeah.
could look for a clothing shop in the market.
Which tailor do you recommend, sir?
Depends on your price.
Well, I want to dress to impress. I would like to meet the Baron, after all.
Then let me suggest you go to the Undertaker.
Oh, you jest, friend, you jest. No one meets the Baron, huh?
Not unless he summons you.
Ah. Say, what's going on in this town? Why is it you can't buy weapons and armor, and you can't meet the local leaders, and the guards chop your hands off?
Oh, you must have done something wrong.
Oh, yeah, someone got caught stealing, but chopping hands off?
Well, there you go. What's the rules?
All right. What's the crime like around here? I suppose it's not that bad, honestly, if they chop people's hands off all the
There's
time.
not a lot. They tend to be short-lived. Literally.
Yeah. Well, I like the hat. I'll still take it. Thank you. How
Very
much?
well. A silver.
Okay.
Janovan, were you getting your hat or you decided to pass?
No, I'm gonna hard pass.
Okay. Now Cookie knows to describe what he actually wants to find.
Yes. That's fine.
What do you consider that? I mean, it depends. The thing is, it's in the eye of the beholder. Because you may see that as up and coming, according
I
to
don't
Badger.
want to see the eye
it's a
of the
wannabe.
beholder.
This place is funnier and funnier. Donovan, let's go.
Alright.
Well, what do you think of that, Cleot? Just
What in the heck are you going to possibly do with that?
I'm making friends. He gave me good information. I'll give him a silver. The hat's old.
Oh, silver too much, if you ask me. But anyway, let's just go.
Which is why we didn't ask you.
So, how do you expect to get to the bottom of this problem? This whole place is closed off. We need to find something that they want that they'll meet with us for.
Do you think a derby hat's going to help with that? sorry.
Let's be constructive. So, what can we do?
We can start an uprising.
No, I really doubt we can.
Oh, we can start an uprising. It'll be short-lived. We could start one.
Just talk to the king and get it over with.
Talk to the king.
If we can't see the Baron, I doubt we can see the king.
Well,
You said you got. What was I told that you got the name of the head of the shield?
yes, I do have the name of the head of the shield.
Well, suppose we'll start.
Well, let's go
I
ask him if they're hiring out mercenaries.
I believe he was asking if you had actually told Cleoc that.
Cleac, the head of the shield is named Ulthin. And you're right, Ulthin would be far easier to find. So you want to try and join the shields?
Not necessarily join.
Do they look like they're hiring mercenaries to you?
I suppose not.
No, until we ask.
But you were asking for ideas.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Joining the shields, we can, like you said, we can start a conflict, either an uprising, which would be convincing other people to revolt, which is why I didn't think you could. We could, file a grievance that someone is stealing our money, right?
Right.
Which is not going to get anywhere. Out of character, guys. I am not good at this. And I don't really have any angle of attack that makes sense to me. We've got this weird goblin threat and no one who will let us talk to them.
In character, Cleoc has his doubts there's a goblin threat at all.
Well,
I guess I'll say that. It's like, I'm beginning to doubt whether there's a threat of a goblin king at all.
we don't have any more proof than a single document and the word of a narcoleptic.
He's not narcoleptic. He's just really, really old and studies a lot. So it makes him tired.
Yeah.
So, in character, how much did you actually tell Cleoc? Because I know things that you were told, but I don't know how much you actually told him.
I would fill Cleoc in and all the details that I've learned. Pretty much everything I've experienced.
So, isn't it odd that the town is under the threat of a goblin king, yet they haven't been attacked by goblins in over 10 years?
How do you find this odd?
Did you want to ask the sage about that?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to head back to the inn?
Yes.
Okay. So Cleoc heads off to the inn. You guys go with him?
I suppose
Yeah,
so.
let's stay together.
Okay. So you come in, you see he's getting his morning meal. Now that it's basically everyone else has left for their jobs, and it's that late in the morning. He looks up. Hey!
Yes, I have another question.
Yes?
Out of curiosity, do you find it odd that the town is under the threat of a goblin king, yet goblins haven't attacked in 10 years?
No.
Or more?
Because I think the person who's working with them from the inside has made a deal to hold them off of here till the time is right.
So,
Just means they're growing in strength.
So where would these goblins actually be?
I wish I knew that. They're probably hiding in the lair that they were spawning from before. Off to the east.
You know,
Their lair was never found, which I also find suspicious and inaccurate.
Hmm.
Cleoc is totally confused about what he just heard.
The shield has been fighting them for decades, and yet somehow has never eradicated them.
So Cleoc is confused because he thought Cookie had told him that they hadn't been attacked for more than 10 years.
Yes, they haven't been attacked longer than you've been alive.
They have not attacked for 10 years.
Yet the
That is
shield
right.
have been, but you just said the shield have been fighting them for.
For decades, like prior to that 10 years. They've been quiet for 10 years, so the shield think they're successful.
But you don't think so because of this
No.
ledger that we can't decipher that you
There
bought
was no
in it.
report of their base of operations being sacked or destroyed, which things like that always were mentioned because every camp that was destroyed, they threw a big party saying, hey, we destroyed another camp. You would have thought they would have had a little bit more of a celebration if they actually killed the king
Right,
and
but
his hold.
wait a minute. Did the goblins have a king a long time ago?
I would think they did, just wasn't known.
Because the man I talked to of the shields, he scoffed at the idea of a king.
Because they don't think goblins can actually have a hierarchy or any intelligence.
Well, who would listen to us in this town? We talk to people, even the middle merchants, and they laugh at the idea that we could meet with the Baron. The shields
The Baron
laughed at
doesn't
the
see
idea.
anyone. The Baron only takes royalty in.
Huh. We could be royalty?
Do you have a lineage paper?
Well, not yet. Do you have lineage paper, Mr. Booksmart?
Nope.
Do you know what they look like?
Yep.
I wouldn't impersonate loyalty around here. I mean, royalty. These guys don't like breaking the law.
Royalty from a different planet, though.
So was the staging area 25 years or 10 years ago to the east as well?
Yes. So I'm thinking they probably have a larger area a little further to the east, or some direction north or
And
south
yet,
to the east from there.
and yet there have been no goblin raids for the last 10 years.
Yes.
Where would the goblins raid in order to satisfy themselves?
They don't need to raid, they like to raid. They can live off of the fish and game and fungus they grow.
Ah, okay.
How much does Cleoc actually know about goblins in comparison for I mean prime goblins, and I guess the ones that he
The ones you've come across, if you remember your first encounter, you do remember seeing various fungus and garbage and disgusting goods that you would basically just throw out, that they were consuming and eating. So you know that they live on very poor quality goods.
I think I was more going for what he knows about goblins. What are the behavioral patterns?
The behavior patterns. How much interaction would Cleoc have had with them? Because I believe in your stories,
Very little.
background, yeah, so not a whole lot. It's more hearsay.
He would
However-
more go along with assumptions that
However,
he
Cleoc
would think it would
does
be
know
Go ahead.
that Cookie was in the army and may have had information.
I
on
speak
them.
Goblin. I should know something about the cultural habits of goblins. Particularly,
Mhm.
could I do an aerial search for a goblin encampment, or would they hide themselves underground?
Most of them tend to be underground or well hidden in some sort of disguised location because they're weaker and more fearful because of that. So they tend to hide and strike out in hordes. But they do certainly enjoy bending people under them and turning them into slaves and beating them and torturing them because that's their
Right.
culture. The strongest beat the weakest.
Well, guys, so one angle of attack is we could go and try to find the goblins, right? Because if they're
Right.
there, we could find them, but they could overwhelm us too.
Yep.
So that's not great.
Cleark would want at least a little bit more information about a general spot to look other than just 25 miles out to the east.
Right. That's why I was hoping an aerial thing would work, but it won't work either.
It's doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. There's cave goblins, forest goblins, and I'm trying to remember the other one.
So I know that we haven't had any dealings with them. But what has Cleark heard on the ship about the Green Consortium?
The Green Consortium is a alliance between all those of nefarious races that tend to not be allied on planets, but somehow, once they leave their deity's sphere of influence, they seem to forego that hatred and ally with one another against the Elven Empire. They were being exterminated rapidly, is what you've heard about. And so you've heard that the Green Consortium is the alliance of the goblin kind and orcs and their allies, hence the Green Consortium, all those of green skin, and a few others.
And so I'd ask the old man if he thinks this would be the work of the Green Consortium.
Oh, no, the Green Consortium doesn't come here. We barely get space travelers. Very few. The Green Consortium wouldn't pay enough attention. There's not enough valuables for them. Hill goblins are the other type. So cave, hill, and forest are kind of the ones. All areas they tend to be underground or in hidden locations.
All right. Well, is there any place that the nobles of this town like to gather, you think?
Typically in their homes in the north.
And what would it take for us to be welcome?
Be one of them. Or an indentured servant.
Oh boy.
An indentured servant.
Yeah, so that they can use you and make you do things.
So one of us could be a quote indentured servant to Rio.
Rio wants to play a... Rio
Does Rio
can't play a
have
noble.
papers of nobility?
I mean, what's the punishment for forging things?
You know, losing
Do you
your
have the
arm,
forgery skill?
death.
In a town where nobility are their own law, which I'm guessing these guys are, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Rio has forgery. You might, but she doesn't.
You know,
Now
So
might
we
be a good
are...
time to quickly mention each other's backgrounds, and just run over your character again to give everyone playing a reminder of who you are, what you are. So let's do that. Just start at the top and run all the way down.
Well, Cookie's a soldier. I started out, sort of working for the army because everyone does in Coromir. I didn't get very far, but I was a cook. And lately we've been playing with mercantile stuff. There's a decent chance we could attempt to be a merchant, maybe.
That's true.
The nobles probably ignore the merchants unless you're a really, really rich merchant, which we might actually qualify as that.
Cleok, you want to run over your character quickly?
Cleok, lived in Faerun. You're part of the tribe of Arakaka that lived in the Stormhorn Mountains. Long story short, he is an Outlander background. Knows a lot about maps and geography, can generally remember terrain, settlements, the outdoors in general. Good at finding and foraging for food and water out in the wilderness.
Okay.
And Ryu.
Ryu is, well, she probably doesn't know what she is. And she was a enslaved and used for enforcement or as an enforcer for criminals. So a bouncer when your bouncer needs to kill things. And she doesn't remember a lot of things.
Any particular skills or backgrounds?
Killing things. Generally being deceptive in some sense. And probably somewhat of a bad attitude and untrusting. Oh, and a drunkard.
Okay. Yonovan.
I am a nomadic inventor. Some of these inventions have been weapons of war, which has led me to the nomadic part, running away from people who didn't like the outcomes of the weaponry I created. So I just, I can blacksmith anything, and you're accepted in whatever community you fall into because everyone needs a blacksmith. So I can always create interesting things to make people's lives easier.
You might be our way in, Yonovan. If you can fit into any society, maybe these people need interesting inventions, or better weapons, or some sort of toy. I don't know how to get in, though.
Yeah. They probably don't like the thing I was working on for you.
Sorry for out of game, but a quick side note. Yonovan, did you get a chance to look at the updated class that I sent you?
I had, but that requires lots of tinkering between.
Which I understand. I just was
I would
making
need to
sure
be
that you
back.
got it because it
Yes, I've gotten it. I'd have
had
to
a
be
lot
back
of
on
the
the ship
things
to
you
do it,
wanted.
though.
So I
Yeah.
just want to make sure you're good.
Yeah, a lot of it's unlocked at higher levels, too, though. But I could still make 2 different variants. But I need to do a lot of tinker checks.
We haven't yet.
So can you excuse us for a moment? And I'd like to pull the group aside out of earshot of the sage.
Okay.
So I'm not convinced that there's actually a goblin threat at all. So do you think there's any chance that we could prove that there's not a threat and get paid that way?
Well, I think there's still a conspiracy, but it may not be goblin based. his encrypted note makes me think something's awry. But it has been 10 years and 25 miles away since the goblins last attacked. They seem to be under control. But that may be, as he said, a ruse of them, holding them back to build strength.
Crazy thought. I wonder if Goblin King isn't actually goblins, but more of a code name.
Okay. For what do you think?
Well, just like the Baron is just the Baron, it hasn't given us a real name for whatever reason.
Well,
We're looking for goblins, or Goblin King, or someone who would be conspiring with the goblins to take over the town, but all evidence otherwise suggests that the goblins aren't a threat.
It's true. The threat would be the conspirator.
well, if the conspirator is in fact holding back the goblins so that they can amass strength like they never have, then they'll have an interesting effect when they do attack.
Yeah.
Who stands to gain by a goblin attack?
That's an interesting question.
Would have to know what this
So who's-
town's producing.
So we know that the Baron is in power in this city.
Yep.
So who would want to usurp the Baron? Or is the Baron looking to usurp someone else? Maybe the goblins want to attack the next town.
We've got to assume that the goblin threat is for this town. Although I have had that thought too.
We should find out if the other towns are walled.
You could investigate to see if there's other towns around. You have not done that.
We could just call the ship. They went to another town.
We know the towns are around because there's King's 3 towns down.
Well, and our spaceship said they were traveling to a different part to do work, right?
A
Yes.
different part of the planet, not so much necessarily this region.
Cleon's,
They didn't specify what other part.
Correct.
However, they might have seen something when they flew overhead.
do we have a time limit?
15 minutes for tonight.
Did the ship captain give us a time limit to finish the mission or leave?
No.
I think we should at least report in to the ship and tell him what we found or lack thereof.
I thought it was assumed that every night or every evening
Well,
Cookie was...
That's fine. We haven't. It's only been a day.
I thought it had been 2 days.
Either way, I think it would be beneficial to potentially roleplay a conversation with the ship.
Yeah. All right. Let's retire to a private room.
All right. You guys go to your room.
We call the ship the
Broadsword
communicator.
calling Danny Boy. Broadsword calling Danny Boy. Oh,
Anyway.
sorry.
This is Cookie calling Emrakul.
Emrakul's not here right now.
This
What do
Grari.
you need? Yes.
We wanted Cleox feeling that we may be chasing a fool's errand here. There's supposed to be a goblin threat, a king of the goblins, but the local police is a bunch of, let's call them a guild of fighters for lack of a better term. and
Right.
everything seems to be under the thumb of a baron. And they haven't had a goblin attack in a decade for some reason.
Interesting.
You can't buy weapons or armor in this town without a license. So, and they're also extreme about enforcing crime punishments around here. You know, chopping people's hands off when they steal.
All right.
Kleok, what do you got?
What do I got?
So you looked for something from me, or just asking me to pass it on to the captain so he knows, or what?
I forgot what I was going to say. I just started laughing at something. I know I was going to say something, but I can't remember it now.
Oh. Well, we wanted to let the captain know we're not really sure where this is going yet. We're trying to get in to schmooze with the nobles, but
I mean, you
they're all
basically.
very exclusive.
And the punishment for just about anything is chopping a hand off or death. So we're treading carefully.
Yes. Yes, I remember. It's like, so I have my doubts that this mission is actually going to bear any fruit. So I was wondering if there was some sort of, I don't want to say it as time limit, but how long would you like for us to investigate before we call this a lost cause?
I think the captain still has a few other tasks he's working on, so we probably have at least another 4 days before we have to head out or find something else.
All right, that's helpful.
Understood.
Anything else you need?
We just wanted to check in.
That's it, thank you.
Good luck.
All right.
The guards
So,
sound sick to you guys or something?
Maybe.
oh man.
Maybe just the DM.
I'm giving you crap, and I was kind of expecting you to say it's like I heard that.
Nah, Hugh's done. Hugh left. Gary's not one for many words.
No, he's not. Well, my general philosophy would be to try to get in and hang out with the nobles, but I don't know how to get in. You know, we don't have a good, hey, we're a circus, or hey, we be a thing that's a good cover experiment. You know? Yonovan, you're great at making stuff.
Nope.
But I don't quite know how that helps us here.
So Kleok wants to go talk to the Shields, but he's also hesitant to go talk to the Shields based on that you have told him that they, uh, even though they haven't, stopped us yet, I don't think we've particularly taken care to hide our weapons either.
Right.
Or I would assume at this point they know that we have some.
It is a potential.
Oh man, we're adding cargo to the ship. Emrakul's been busy.
So, well, guys, what do you. This is crazy. We need to find something that makes sense. What makes sense to do? I mean, if
So
the
Cleoc,
merchants
go ahead.
if the merchants keep to themselves, how can we break in? You know, we're not we're not nobles. What can we offer? We can offer money. That's what we have. We have you know, we could become merchants if that's what we want to be. It makes sense. I can,
We're in our room, right?
yeah.
Cleoc asked Rio again what she was doing the other night, besides drinking. Or day, while we were in the market.
Oh, while we were in the market. Oh, let's see. There lots beer. Oh yeah, chased some criminal kids. Went down an alleyway. They disappeared, and a nice man asked me to leave. He smelled of alcohol and looked like he'd been through a few fights, so he was a nice guy. Then I came back. What? You think I just lied to you a whole bunch?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what do you think, Ryu? How can we befriend the nobles and figure out who might be plotting against the others? Nobles are always plotting, right?
So
Kind of your job description.
I don't understand why you want to be friends with the nobles. Can't we just kill them all?
So out of
No.
character, if Cleoc wasn't lawful good, he would be suggesting that we go try and get in with these other people.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Rio would, if you suggested that, Rio would say, I tried to tell them I was a friend, but they just kicked me out.
Hmm.
Rude.
So, do we need to break here and let you guys mull it over to develop
Well, we're
a plan
not
for next
getting
week?
anywhere. That's
Yeah.
really the problem.
You have a few
So,
good theories and options.
okay, so guys, let's present the options and pick one to try, okay?
Yeah.
So we can try to find a merchant who will invite us into his home and talk with us. You know, one who's concerned by the lack of goblins in the last decade, and we think they're plotting something and is willing to hear us out. Okay? Because maybe once we get to one noble, they can tell us about other nobles who might be having problems, etc. Okay?
So, out of character, I don't want to be doing those investigation checks and have the nobles find out that we're asking interesting questions around.
Why not?
So, because trying to, well, it depends on how you word the questions, because the way you just said it there is we're going to ask and try and find nobles who thought there was something wrong.
Right.
So you're going to go around looking for somebody who is against the status quo, basically.
Uh-huh.
You're basically asking for a noble who is rebellious. As a noble who is rebellious, I would be very afraid of that. And as a noble who's not rebellious, I'd be very insulted by that. So this is all out of character. Just saying.
I doubt it, actually. I would expect that all nobles, if anything, it's the opposite. They expect that they live in a society where you try to backstab each other for gain.
Yes, but where backstabbing literally means getting hung. And
Well,
someone goes asking around for someone who's looking to backstab another noble, you think it's a trap.
well, what you do is you go looking for someone who's desperate and might be suspicious, because all the nobles, they're happy to point fingers at someone else. But maybe revealing that we think someone is in league with the Goblin King is too much.
Well,
But
no,
how
that's
else would...
probably just bad because most of them are going to believe that that's a joke. And the ones
Yeah.
that won't believe it's a joke know that he's real and are probably in league with him. So that's a...
Cleoc wants to
point.
go back to the shield and ask about, the goblin attack of 10 years ago.
Hey, how about this? Rio really wants to bash some skulls in. Maybe we could go out on a raid on some goblins.
Okay, so option one,
So
investigate. Okay, guys, back up. Option two, yes, I considered that before, is to go look for goblins. Right?
We could do so with the shield, and if the shield just ignores it, then we know there's something wrong.
So you want us to go to the shields and ask them to go raid the goblins?
Well,
Investigate the situation?
I thought they fight
Maybe
skirmishes.
Maybe go ask them where the last known goblin camp was.
Okay. So
because yes, I want to go out and bash some goblins, but in character it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to Cleoc without narrowing the search area to spend.
Sure.
Also get bounties for them. Say, hey, we're traveling adventurers. We want to bash some goblins because we don't like goblins. We had a nasty encounter with them a while ago.
Okay.
How much can we get paid? Can you point us in the right direction? We want to go smash some skulls in.
Yeah. Okay, so that's option number 2. I like it.
And then if they really don't like us for having weapons, then we'll know that something's really going on with the town itself.
Okay. Yonovan, do you have any thoughts?
No. I have nothing that I think they would be interested in me creating for them. The shield, perhaps, but I mean, normally when I was making things for the common folks that help make their lives easier. Nobles already have slaves to make their lives easier.
Well, one thing is, if we do go with the shields, we should pay attention to make sure we're not ambushed in case the shields are in on it. They might try and ambush us and kill us in the open, so maybe having the ship on standby if that could happen.
That seems unlikely because the ship is still, at best, days away.
Seems unlikely, but I'm saying just if we think that we might be in a bad situation.
Is widespread enough that the entire organization, such as the Shields, are against us.
Maybe not in the entire organization, but that doesn't mean there isn't a commander and some of his people. But no, that was just a thought.
Okay.
We haven't even tried to meet with Olthan. We actually found the name of the head of the shield.
I mean, yeah, you can bring it up to him.
I wonder if he's as protected as the Baron is.
Probably.
As far as, just talking to people.
Yeah.
Like us.
So.
Well, let me address that. These people are full of pride. Are you going to be able to, ask to see the president of the company?
He's not the president, he's the guard captain.
Yeah, he's the guard captain of all the shields.
Can you just ask the police?
Go on.
So, let's back up a second with that statement. If let's say I was, wanting to talk to the 5-star general of the United States Army.
Sure.
Not going to happen because the U.S. Army is huge.
Right.
But as far as we know, we're in an actual smallish town where the militia isn't all that large. I could probably, ask for the mayor of Forgan, Oklahoma, and probably meet the mayor.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like this is bigger than that because it's on a decent sized grid. Nate can correct us if we're wrong, but I would say it's maybe like the size of Edmond, maybe? So could you ask to meet the chief of police for the Edmond police on the spot, or would you get a appointment? 2 weeks out.
It would depend.
Hey, either way, I
Okay.
feel like our best course of action, even though if I were Rio's alignment, I would want to get in touch with the Thieves Guild, but Cleoc would never suggest that. So I want to ask the Shields about the Goblin raid of 10 years ago, and then see where that leads us.
The thieves might actually know who's hard up and hiding it.
The thieves would be a great source of information if you can actually get them to tell you or sell you it.
And not kill you in the process?
Yeah, I tried to follow that. You guys can join me next time, but I think Cleoc's got a good idea of talking to whoever is willing to talk at the Shields about 10 years ago, the last time they fought the goblins. Like, get details if possible, and then determine if we go to the thieves or if we just go out there looking for goblins.
Okay. That is our plan. We shall go and try to talk with the Shields, try to find someone, or tell us about that happening 10 years ago, and maybe try to go raid some goblins.
Yeah.
If not, then we go for the Thieves Guild, maybe? I don't know. Have you guys... well, no, I did tell you, so I guess you just guys are thinking on it whether you want to do anything in that route.
It sounds more like the Handless Guild.
It sounds very questionable. Well, it's risky in this thing because anyone who associates with the Thieves Guild will be automatically uncovered, discovered by the law, and an enemy. So that's not good. We'll lose credit in this town by doing that.
If we fail when we talk to them or get caught by the cops, we would basically have to leave and get on the boat and abandon the quest. Or go kill the Goblin King.
And never show up in port again.
Send a letter after we kill the Goblin King. Mail the Goblin King's head to our contact.
Not meant Baron. Please forgive us. Sorry.
No, because the Baron might be the one that was scheming. You mail it to the contact who said that there was a Goblin King, and he's the one that pays, after all.
Right.
That's just, the head of any old goblin. I don't see crown.
You mail the crown with it.
I can fashion a crown.
Okay.
He's probably got magic to determine what level the creature was when it died, or what his class was.
Also, Cleoc votes to not take any more missions like this ever again.
More clear-cut missions?
Clear-cut missions,
it sounded like a clear-cut mission,
right.
But
So we should have taken that assassinate random dude A, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're done for tonight.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Well, you guys, like I said, you have a few good leads now. You have a number of potential ways of getting to these
good leads.
Yes. Last week you guys had a few random directions you can go with it. This week you actually have good leads.
Thank you.
You guys have actually made decent progress. Instead of bumbling around the town wondering what's what.
Doesn't feel like progress, to be honest.
And that's why I'm telling you. You actually have made some. Before, the issue was you guys really didn't query all the things in the direction going for what you needed, but this time you've actually gotten some details. You've gotten some direction. So, I mean, you have a few options to go with that you guys have talked about that are viable. It's just a matter of thinking through, picking the one you want to go with, and seeing how it turns out. And if it doesn't work, go for the next one.
Yeah.
Because you have a few that are good. All right, we'll pick up there next week. All right, gents.
Alrighty.
Okay.